Recently, I joined fellow birder Doug to photograph elf owls in Arizona. Last year, I heard my first elf owls, but this was my first time seeing them. I've never photographed any owls at night before. In this video, I'll share my photos and tell you how we photographed these owls, and I'll tell you some interesting facts about these tiny little birds. Just how small are elf owls? They are just over 5 inches from head to tail. That's the same length as chickadees. That's tiny. In fact, there's no smaller owl or hawk in the world. But elf owls look bigger because of their big head and stocky body. Doug picked me up just before sunset. We're soon out in the desert. This was a place he had previously heard elf owls at night. He had followed their calls to a group of saguaro cacti. He thought they might have a nest here. Elf owls winter in western and southern Mexico in dry thorn forests, pine oak woodlands, and deserts. In late March, they migrate to Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas. They remain through September. As soon as dusk arrived, we started hearing contact calls from elf owls moving through the mesquite. Then they began their yapping call. These birds are so small, you might wonder what they eat. Elf owls mostly eat insects, moths, beetles, crickets, grasshoppers, and even scorpions. Sometimes they eat lizards and small rodents. They hunt from a perch, pouncing on prey on the branches, on the ground, and even fly up into the air for larger flying insects. Soon we spotted an elf owl fly through our flashlight beam. It flew up into a hole in a saguaro. We had found the nest. Elf owls nest in old woodpecker nest holes. In the Sonoran Desert of Arizona, these holes are made by Gila woodpeckers and gilded flickers. Elf owls usually lay 2 to 4 eggs. They incubate these eggs about 24 days. The chicks stay in the nest for about a month after hatching. To learn more about woodpecker nest holes in saguaro cacti, see my video on saguaro boots in the video card above. One of the elf owls, presumably the male, waited outside of the nest in an ironwood tree. We held a small flashlight with the same hand as we held the barrel of our cameras. That way there was just enough light for the camera to focus. There is a recharge time on the flash unit before it can fire again. This photo was made just with a flashlight. Even so, it's not too bad. It's a little grainy though at ISO 16,000. Speaking of photography, I didn't know my iPhone could take handheld photos in the dark. There was a full moon on the night Doug and I went out. One very interesting thing I learned was that male elf owls arrive on territory before the females. He selects a few possible nest cavities and then shows them to her when she arrives. The female elf owl chooses the nest cavity and then she stays inside, even before the eggs are laid. The male elf owl feeds his mate on the nest from then on until the chicks are 3 weeks old. So then what we most likely heard and saw was the male returning with food. He would perch in the tree and call to the female. When she answered and knew it was him, he would fly up to the nest cavity and pass her the food. Then he'd fly off again. After we got our photos, we moved on and left them in peace for the rest of the summer. Do you have any interesting stories to share about elf owls? Have you seen one? Tell me in the comments. Click on this video to learn interesting facts about my favorite desert bird, Phainopepla.